Morning, y'all. Welcome to your gentle flow and stretch. As you can see, I have a couple of blocks here. And if you want a strap, feel free to grab one. I don't have one, so I just typically don't think about it. And let's get started off today in a supine butterfly pose. So Supta Baddha Konasana. Lie down on the back, bringing the soles of your feet together, your heels in towards your sits bones, and you can let your knees hang comfortably open. And then if you're feeling like that's too much for this point, you can slide your blocks kind of to the outside of your thighs, or you can even lift them up higher to level 3, the highest you can go, and you can rest them on the underneath side of your knees. But just find something that feels good. Allow for the groin, your inner thighs, the hips to slowly begin to open. And I invite you to drop in, take a moment to ground, to step out of your morning so far. So we move into our practice. Close down your eyes, relax your brows, wiggle your jaw from side to side. Do all of those things so that you can step into this space and drop a load of weight, right? Like just let everything kind of fall away. Give yourself the gift of, for however long you can be here in this moment, that you're all here. Take just a few more breaths here. Maybe go ahead and empty out your lungs wherever you are in your breath cycle, and then take a deep inhale. Gentle pause at the top. And then exhale. Empty it back down. Let it go. Relax, release. Inhale, allow for your belly to expand, for your rib cage to open. You might feel your backside ribs kind of press down into your mat. There's a gentle pause at the top. And then you exhale to empty, to let it all go, relaxing and releasing. And take a few more rounds just like that. The dropping in, the letting go. Set an intention for your practice if that's something that serves you. And maybe today your intention is that you're going to breathe and move, be in your body. And then slowly on your next exhale, draw your knees together. Let your low back press down into the mat. Take an inhale. And then exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Relax your shoulders from your ears. And then a gentle baby rock side to side of your knees. So you get a massage through your low back. And then come right back into center. Find stillness for a moment. The compression of the fronts of your hips as your thighs pull in towards your ribs. And then extend your left leg long. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. Your right foot is flexed. Now both feet are flexed so that your left heel comes down. And then stir your right thigh bone around in the hip socket. Go in the opposite direction. And then right back to center. Inhale. Exhale, extend your right leg long. Interlace your fingers around your right hamstring. I don't know if you can see, but my right leg's shaking. Gentle bend into your right knee, or even a deep bend, right? So find what you need. And you can take your hands and even rub the backside of your right hamstring, right? I sometimes take fists and rub the knuckles up and down. Create some heat. Open up through your posterior chain, which we do a lot of in yoga, I will say. We pay way more attention to the back side of the body than the front side. But at least in my practices, I try to even some of that out. Awesome. Take one more inhale. Maybe you draw your right leg in a little bit higher. On the exhale, if it feels good, lift your chest. Relax your shoulders from your ears. And then your head and shoulders come back down. Hug both knees in. Rock it side to side. And then extend your right leg long. Hug your left knee in. Feel the compression on the front side of your left ribs. Relax your shoulders back and down. And then stir your left thigh bone around. It doesn't matter which direction you go, so we're going to do both. So when you're ready, switch it up. Go in the opposite direction. And then stillness right back in center. Inhale. And then exhale, extend your left heel up into the sky. You can take a bend to your left knee so that you don't feel this in your gluteal fold where your glute and your hamstring connect, but you also don't feel it in the left knee. You feel it in the belly of your muscle, so that fleshy big part of the backside of your left leg. And again, if you want to take your knuckles and rub or your palms, just warm it up. Get some space in there. This leg feels a little bit tighter today. And then you could slide your hands up, draw your leg in a little bit closer. Inhale, both feet are flexed. If you're into it, exhale, bend your elbows, bring your chest in towards your left thigh. Breathe here. And then exhale, let your head and shoulders come back down. Hug both knees in. Rock it side to side for a moment. If happy baby is calling to you, bend both knees. Grab onto the outer or inner arches of your feet, but allow for your upper back to stay down on the mat. If you have to round up and you're up here, you're better off just releasing the feet all together and grabbing the backs of your legs, right? And you can even rock side to side here. It's all about finding those spaces that speak to you and moving through them, right? And then draw your knees back and towards your chest. Slide your hands behind your thighs. And then spinal rocks forward and backward, the length of your spine. Keep your low belly pulled in. Your low back is rounded so it doesn't slap against the mat as you move. And then come all the way forward. Cross your feet at the ankles. And then shimmy back so that you find yourself towards the center of your mat. All right, box pose. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Now, spread your fingers out wide. With your inhale, drape a soft belly down towards the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail, press your heart forward. And then exhale to reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back. Drop the crown of your head down. Tuck your chin towards your chest. And then inhale, pass back through to your cow pose. So belly down, heart forward. And then exhale to reverse it. Press the earth away, navel to your spine. Really dome out your upper back. Let's take one more just like that. Inhale, soft belly down. There's a sway to your low back. So you feel a broadening of your sits bones. And then exhale, press the earth away. Separate your shoulder blades as much as you can. Navel to your spine and tuck your chin. And then on your inhale, come back into a neutral spine. And exhale, just hold your box pose. Now inhale, slide your right foot towards the back of your mat. Stretch through your calf, rock it forward and backward for just a moment. We're not staying a super long time here. Move this block out of the way. When you're ready, stack your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, lift your right heel to about hip height. Make sure to pull the pit of your belly in. And on the exhale, cross your right foot all the way over to the left. Again, not staying here a super long time, but keep your left hip, your thigh, your knee stacking on top of one another. And pull your right shoulder forward, your left shoulder back. And maybe you gaze over your left shoulder. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift your right leg up to hip height. On the exhale, take your right leg out to the side body. Place your right foot down on the ground. Feel the outer edge of your right foot down. All 5 toes point forward. And then as you inhale, stack your shoulders over your hips. Bring your arms up over your head. All right. Take one more inhale. Get as long as you can. Pull the pit of your belly back. And then on the exhale, take your right fingertips towards your right knee and reach your left arm up and over. So stretching through your left side body. And then inhale, take both arms to the sky. And on the exhale, drop your left hand down, either to a block or to the ground, and reach your right arm up and over. So now you get a stretch through the right side body. Seal the outer edge of your foot down. Reach through your right fingertips. Perfect, y'all. And then as you inhale, take both arms back to the sky. And on the exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Root your right hand down. Inhale, float your left arm high. And the exhale, thread the needle. Left arm underneath the right. Your fingertips reach towards your right big toe, but we don't care if it actually touches or not. And then your right hand can either stay where it is, reach your right arm forward, or wrap your right arm around the small of your back in a half bind. Now, when you're moving into this space, feel it out. And all of it is twisting your spine, right? So we know this, but taking the right forearm around the small of your back in the half bind, you're going to work the twisting of the spine, the upper middle thoracic, a little bit more. If you need to stretch more what's happening between your left rhomboid and like your shoulder blade and your sternum, keep your right arm reaching forward and try to take your right armpit towards your left elbow crease. So you're still getting a twist, but you're really working the stretch in your upper back muscles. Whereas with the half bind, you're increasing the twist and you're opening more the front of your right shoulder, your pec, all that stuff. So just kind of, what do you need? And then do that. Now slide your right hand back in front of your face, wherever it went. Inhale, float your left arm high. And exhale, place your left hand down on the ground. Stay as you are. Inhale here. And then exhale, shift your hips back towards your left heel and take a funky child's pose. Walk your arms forward. Let your forehead come down. Breathe. On your next inhale, shift forward onto hands and left knee and float your right leg up and back to your 3-point balance. On the exhale, tuck your knee towards your chin, your chest, your nose, just so you can dome out your upper back, and then step your right foot forward. Slide your left knee back. I'm going to take blocks on either side of my right foot. You don't have to. But ideally, you're getting a 90-degree bend with your right knee. I'm also going to roll the back of my mat up. And there's a diagonal from your left hip to your thigh to your left knee. So just stay there for a moment. Roll your shoulders back. One more inhale here. On the exhale, root your left palm down, and then inhale, float your right arm up to the sky. Stack your right shoulder on top of the left, right clavicle on top of the left. Your drishti, which is your gaze point, typically follows the right hand here, unless that bothers your cervical spine, in which case, whatever's going to be best for your neck, that's where you look, right? I wouldn't go behind, but maybe you just glance down at your right knee or to the right side of the room. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand down to the ground. Inhale, allow for the crown of your head to pull forward. You lengthen through your body. And then exhale, shift your hips back. Straighten through the right leg and then flex your toes back towards your shin. Remember, the more the navel can spin towards your right thigh bone, the more the right hip pulls back, left hip forward. And then same thing like what we did on our backs. If you feel this anywhere around your right knee or in your gluteal fold, then you're going to soften the bend in your right knee. Make sure that you're releasing from there and that you feel this in the belly of your muscle. Roll your shoulder blades back and down. Breathe here. And on your next inhale, slowly walk yourself forward. Curl up your back toes, lift your back knee, On the exhale, step your left foot all the way forward. Uttanasana, forward fold at the top of your mat. Now your feet can be hip width distance apart. You can zip them up together. You do you. And then as you inhale, lengthen your spine. Take your fingertips towards your shins. The crown of your head is forward, your tailbone back. Your belly pulls in and up, so you support directly on the opposite side, which is your lumbar spine. And then as you exhale, soften in through the knees, drape the frontal ribs on top of your thighs. Head hangs down, hands grab onto opposite elbows if you like it, and ragdoll sway it side to side. So the idea here is that you're releasing through the back side of your body, your low back, your hamstrings. So the more the bend, the more release you might feel, right? The straighter the legs, it's a little bit more of the stretching, yeah? All right, y'all. Exhale completely, let your hands come down. And then inhale, roll all the way up, one vertebra at a time. Let your shoulders come back and down. And exhale. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And on the exhale, interlace your fingers and bring your hands to the back of your skull. So your thumbs are going to find themselves just at the base of your occipital ridge. Let your elbows reach out wide. Pull the pit of your belly in. Now, if you have anything going on with your neck today, you're just going to stand right here, right? If no degenerative, no bulging discs, none of that kind of stuff. On the inhale, lift your chin, let your head fall back into your hands, open up through your elbows. And then on the exhale, round through your upper back. Tuck your chin, let your elbows come in. Inhale, let your head fall back, open up through your elbows. And then exhale, tuck it, round, elbows in. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. And then inhale, come right back through neutral, reach your arms out and up. And exhale, forward fold. Take your chest to your thighs, drop your head down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step your feet back. Once you're in your plank, bring your knees down to the ground. Inhale, lift your butt up. And then exhale, knees, chest, chin. You're like an inchworm. Hug your elbows in, gaze forward, chest to the ground. And then you inhale, slide it through. Toenails, pubic bone down. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. And then exhale, press your hips back. Find your child's pose. Hips to your heels, walk your arms forward. Any movements that feel good here, natural, take them. And then inhale, press right back up into your box pose. On the exhale, stack your joints, pull your belly in and up. Inhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat and begin to rock forward and backward on the ball mounds of your left foot. The whole time, the space between your navel and your pubic bone draws in. So it's like soft skin that you're trying to make taut. So draw it up. Good. And then inhale, stack your joints, lift your left leg up to hip height. And exhale, slide your left foot over to the right, all the way off of your mat. But then glance down, right hip, thigh, knee, all in the same line. And then pull your left shoulder forward, your right shoulder back. Gaze over your right shoulder maybe. Find some space in the sides of your neck. All right, and on your next inhale, lift your left leg back up. And on the exhale, take your left leg out to the side body, drop your left foot down. And then all 5 toes point forward. Seal the outer edge of your left foot to the earth. Perfect, y'all. Now from here, root your left palm down. On the inhale, float your right arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, thread the needle. Take your right fingertips towards your left big toe, and then your left arm reaches forward, wraps around the small of your back in a half bind. Find the space you need. And we'll catch our side body stretching and our gate pose after this. All good. Now remember, the twist is more through your spine if you're taking the half bind. If you need to stretch your right side lats, your rhomboid, getting into that space between your shoulder blade and your sternum, all that musculature, keep reaching your left arm forward and spin your left armpit towards your right elbow crease, right? Breathe. All right, wherever your left hand went, drop your left hand back in front of your face. Inhale, float your right arm up to the sky. Stack your joints. Exhale, bring your right hand down. I'm going to grab my block and slide it over to the outside of my right leg. Inhale, bring your shoulders up over your hips. Take your arms up over your head. On the exhale, drop your left hand down towards your left knee. Reach your right arm up and over. So get that side body stretch. Allow for the bottom floating rib on the right side to lift up and away from the top of your hip joint. Now, if you feel this in your low back, you take the top of your pubic bone, slide it towards your navel so there's a lengthening through your lumbar spine. And then inhale, take both arms high. And exhale, drop your right hand either down to the ground or to your block, and then really reach your left arm up and over. Stretch. Breathe. Drishti towards your left hand if it feels all right. Maybe you look underneath your left tricep. And on your next inhale, stack your shoulders over your hips, reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Now shift your hips back towards your right heel and find your funky child's pose. Forehead down to the ground, breathing in. You know you're breathing in. Breathing out. You know you're breathing out. On your next inhale, stack your shoulders over your wrists, your right hip over your right knee. Float your left leg up and back. And with your exhale, tuck your knee in towards your chin, your chest, your nose. Dome out your upper back and step your left foot forward. Now you can have blocks on either side of your left foot. Remember, it's a 90-degree bend with the left knee. It's a diagonal from the right hip to the right knee. Zip your navel in and up. Roll your shoulders back. Just breathe here for a moment. Find this space. It's all good. And let your right hand come down to the ground. And then inhale, float your left arm up to the sky. Find your twist. Stack your left shoulder on top of the right. And then glance down. It's easy for the left knee to splay out to the left. Can you keep it on top of your shin, on top of your ankle? Good. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, bring your left hand down to the ground. Inhale, it's a lengthening of your spine. And then exhale, shift your hips back, straighten through your left leg. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Feel out your left hamstring. The knee is just along for the ride. And watch your second and your third toe. They kind of let you know, are you internally rotating, externally rotating your thigh bone? Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. Perfect, y'all. And then slowly, as you inhale, walk yourself back forward. Curl up your back toes, lift your back knee. And on the exhale, it's a giant step forward. Your right foot meets the left. You're at the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. Now as you exhale, open arm twist. Left arm forward, right arm back. Keep pulling your right hip forward. So you might have to feel into your innermost obliques on the right side. Gaze over your right thumb, maybe. And then inhale, reach both arms back up. Face forward. Exhale, your right hand forward, your left arm back. Open arm twist. This time really paying attention to your left side obliques. If you feel like your left hip is pulling back to follow your left hand, pull it forward. And then inhale, rotate back front and center. Exhale, take your elbows back and down, lift your chest. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, fold forward, drop the crown of your head down. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bring your hands down, step yourself back, and let your knees soften down to the ground. On the inhale, shift yourself forward. And then exhale, come all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes, your pubic bone is down. And then Sphinx pose. Bring your elbows and your forearms down to the earth. And you're probably going to have to glance down. So your elbows come underneath your shoulders. And it's kind of a wax in of the elbows, wax out of the pinkies, right? And then so shoulders over the elbows, wrists directly in front of the elbows. And then it's almost as if you're pulling your hip bones towards your elbows to catch some traction in your spine. Pull the pit of your belly in so there's no pain in the low back. You have the option to kind of gaze side to side, stretch through the scalenes, the sides of your neck, all that stuff. Take one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, spin your elbows out and bring your forehead down. Wiggle your hips from side to side for a moment. And then bend your right knee. Reach your right hand back to your right ankle. And gently draw your heel in towards your glute. Try to keep both hip bones down on the ground. And stretch through your right quadricep. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, gentle release of your right foot back down to the ground. Switching over to the left side, reach your left hand back, bend your left knee. It's okay if the hand doesn't catch the ankle. This is also a spot where you could use a strap if you wanted to. Keep the internal rotation of your left upper arm bone so your left shoulder moves down and away from your ear. Breathe. Both hips down on the ground. My right hip was lifting. And there's a gentle release of your left foot down to the ground. And then interlace your fingers to the back of your skull, just like we did earlier standing up, right? And then try to pull your elbows away from the ground. Keep your toenails down. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. And then inhale, lift your forehead off of the earth. And then exhale, bring it back down. We're just going to take 4 more of those. Pull the pit of your belly up. Inhale to lift. And exhale down. Last 3. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2. Inhale. And exhale. Last 1. Inhale. And exhale. Release your hands outside of your chest. Inhale. Roll your shoulders forward, up, back. And then exhale. Hips to your heels. Rest it out. If you need more of a stretch and support for the spine, the knees are together. More stretch for the hips, then your knees will be apart. All right, on your inhale, lift yourself up. Come back into your box pose, curl up your toes. Exhale, lift your hips up and back and find downward facing dog. Hips high, chest in towards the thighs. Let your head hang low. All right, y'all. You can swivel your hips side to side. I believe this is the first downward facing dog we've come into. So, traditional alignment, your feet are about hip width distance apart. Outer heels more or less lining up with the pinky toes. And then hands would be somewhat shoulder width distance apart. If that doesn't feel right, fix it. Find something else, right? And then I'm going to spin my heels over towards the right. So my toes point left. Lift my heels, bend my knees, and drop my hips down and gaze forward. I just need a little twist and stretch. And then you inhale, lift your hips, spin back through downward facing dog. Exhale, heels to the left, toes to the right. Bend my knees, drop my hips down, gaze forward. And then inhale right back through center. Exhale, let my heels get heavy. Lift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. And then inhale, float your right leg up to the sky. Take your time, use your whole breath. And then exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hip, yawn it open. Watch your right shoulder. And then inhale, re-lengthen your right leg. And exhale, step your right foot forward. Let your left heel go flat. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. And find warrior one. Stay right here for your exhale. And then inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher so that your floating ribs pull up and off of the tops of your hips. And then exhale, take your elbows back and down, lift your chest. Inhale, reach your arms high. And then exhale, straighten your right leg. Now your option here is to simply hinge at your right hip and bring your hands down to the ground or to blocks for pyramid pose. If you want to work the upper body as well, inhale, reach your fingertips higher. Exhale, drop your left fingertips in between your shoulder blades. Get a little tricep stretch. And then take your right arm around the small of your back in a half bind, or reach your right fingertips all the way up for Gomukhasana arms, your cow face arms. Now the inhale, lead with your left elbow. And then on the exhale, hinge at your right hip and take your left elbow towards your right big toe. So the idea here, you've got to really press down into the right big toe ball mount and squeeze your inner thighs towards one another. You can shorten your stance. Watch the right knee. Inhale here. And then exhale, everybody bring your hands down, frame your front foot with your hands and slide your left foot back. Inhale, windmill open, find a warrior two, bend your right knee. Now you might have to slide your right foot over so that the heel more or less intersects your left inner arch. And then as you exhale, drop yourself down. Gaze over your right fingertips. Relax your shoulders back and down. And then on the inhale, take both arms up. Left hand encircles right wrist. Flip your right palm towards the sky. And then exhale, hinge back. So you're stretching through the right side of your body. And take your fingertips towards the back of your mat. And on your inhale, come right back in. Warrior two, gaze to your right fingertips. Exhale, right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left arm up and over. So take the tailbone, slightly lengthen. Your right hand could come down to a block. It could come all the way down to the earth. You do you, whatever feels correct. And then on your next inhale, bring your shoulders back over your hips. And on the exhale, straighten through your right leg, shorten your stance. Inhale, open your arms out to a T. Bump your left hip back and reach your right fingertips forward. And then exhale, drop your right hand down, reach your left arm up to the sky. Hold right there for the inhale. And then exhale, wrap your left forearm around the small of your back in a half bind if it feels good. And then you could take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Typically, I would not say that because the crown of your head reaches forward. But this is on purpose to stretch your left neck. Good, y'all. Now take the crown of your head back towards the top of your mat. Inhale, warrior two, bend your right knee, gaze forward. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Step your right foot back. Hold your high plank just for an inhale. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. And then exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Hips high, chest in towards your thighs. Breathe. If you like to pedal out your feet, you can. And then when you're ready, inhale, float your left leg up to the sky. Use your whole breath. Exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip, yawn it open, feel it out. Continue to press your right side ribs in towards your right thigh. Let your right heel be heavy. And then inhale, lengthen your left leg. Press your heel all the way up. Exhale, step your left foot all the way through. Let your right heel go flat. Inhale, lift your shoulders over your hips. Arms up over your head. Stay for your exhale. Pull the pit of your belly back. Breathing in. You know you're breathing in. Breathe out. You know you're breathing out. One more inhale here. And then exhale, straighten through your left leg. Inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. Option here is to exhale, fold forward, bring your hands down to frame your front foot, right? If you want to work through the upper body as well, drop your right fingertips in between your shoulder blades, get a tricep stretch on the right side. And then if you want it, slide your left forearm around the small of your back in a half bind, or even reach your left fingertips up. So I don't catch the full bind on this side. So I'm just gonna grab my shirt. Take an inhale. I'm going to shorten my stance a little bit, lengthen through so that my right elbow is lifting and leading. And then exhale, pull the belly in and up, hinge at the left hip. And it's like you're moving your right elbow towards your left big toe. Breathe. Relax your face. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, let your hands come down. Frame your front foot with your hands. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. And then inhale, slide your right heel back. Bend into your left knee, windmill open. Find your warrior two. You're probably going to have to fix up the feet a little bit. And then exhale, just drop in a little bit lower. Breathe. Shoulders open. Yeah. Belly back. Gaze is soft over your left fingertips. Exhale completely as you drop down. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Right hand circles left wrist. Flip your left palm towards the sky. Exhale, reach your left fingertips towards the back of your mat. You're stretching through your left side body. Breathe. Watch the sides of your neck. Inhale right back into warrior two. Open out the arms. Gaze to your left fingertips. Exhale, your left forearm comes down. Your right arm reaches up and over. Breathing in. And out. Perfect. Right arm wraps around the small of your back in the half bind if you like it. Then inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, arms out to a T. Exhale, straighten through your left leg. I'm going to bring my right foot in. Inhale, bump your right hip back, reach your left hand forward. And then exhale, drop your left arm down, reach your right arm high. Good, y'all. Now remember, you can stay right here the whole time. If you want to wrap your right forearm around the small of your back, you can. If you want to drop your left ear towards your left shoulder, it's also there. Breathe. All right. Take the crown of your head back towards the top of your mat. Inhale, warrior two. Reach your arms out to a T. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Frame your front foot. Inhale to step your left foot to the back of your mat. This time on the exhale, bring your knees down. Take your hips to your heels and find a child's pose. And then on your next inhale, come up into all fours. And then exhale, come all the way down to your belly. So shift forward and soften all the way down. Get all this stuff out of the way so I don't knock it over. I'm going to slide my mat away from the wall a little bit as well. All right, y'all. Let's do this. Oh, just kidding. On my movement, I just made the camera drop. There you are. We're back. I think I told y'all my tripod broke right before class, like as I was setting it up. So I am very kind of sort of set up in here today. There it is. All right. We good? Okay. So from here, you're down on your belly. Take your right arm out to the side body. And ideally, your right arm is going to go from your shoulder to your humerus to your elbow. So this whole thing is going to be a straight line from the shoulder with your palm facing down. And then you might even feel like you have to reach your right fingertips away from you ever so slightly. And take your right ear down to the earth. Bend your left knee. Your left hand is underneath your left shoulder. Press into your left palm and then roll over your right shoulder. Your left foot lands behind the right hamstring. And breathe. If you don't feel this at all, you can always come back onto your chest, onto your belly, and make a cactus arm. And then re-roll. Yeah, so you would be bending your arm at the elbow. You can also reach your left arm over and catch the right fingertips if that feels good. I'm going to just hang right here today. I want to let my head rest down on the ground. And when you're ready, gently come back on to your belly and your forehead. All right, y'all. So from here, bring your right hand back in. Reach your left arm forward so that you can press your left palm down. Thread the needle. Take your right arm underneath the left. Your right palm is facing up. So your chest is coming down onto your right upper arm. And then reach your left arm forward, like you're trying to take your left armpit to your right elbow crease. And drop your forehead down. And then when you're ready, draw your left knee up into a 90-degree bend. So your left knee and thigh line up with your left hip. And it's like your left knee is pulling up towards your right pinky finger. And then when you're ready, reach your left arm up over into the opposite side of the room. I just got like a spinal adjustment there because now you're in a spinal twist, right? Now, try to get your left shoulder to come down onto the earth, even if your left knee lifts. It's okay. Breathe. Soften your face. One more inhale. And on your exhale, slowly unravel. Roll back over to the right. Slide your left foot down. Press your left palm down and unravel your right arm out. Let your forehead come back down. If you need to shimmy side to side or anything like that, go for it. And then take your left arm out, shoulder height, palm face down. Right hand is underneath your right shoulder. Forehead down. Bend your right knee. Press into your right palm and then roll over your left shoulder. Let your right foot just drop behind your left hamstring. Breathe here. Relax your face, your brows, your jaw. Your right hand can reach back and catch your left fingertips if that's what you need. Take one more inhale right here. And on the exhale, unravel, roll back to your belly. Reach your right arm forward so that you can press your palm down. Slide your left hand for starters underneath your left shoulder, and then thread the needle underneath your right arm. Your palm is facing up. Your right your right armpit is kind of reaching towards your left elbow crease. Your chest is kind of just on your left arm, right? So move it around, especially for women, like you might have to move it up or down. Make it to where it's not uncomfortable on the breast tissue, but to where you're getting that stretch in the left shoulder, the rhomboid, all that. When you're ready, draw your right knee up into your 90-degree bend. Give your right foot a little flex. And then reach your right fingertips up towards the sky and then over to the opposite side of the room, creating a T shape with your arms. And then try to melt your right shoulder down to the mat, even though that means your right knee is probably going to lift. It's okay. So that stretch through your side body, through the hip. Or maybe I'm just tight there today, right? Maybe you don't feel it at all there. That's okay. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, slowly roll back over. Let your right arm reach forward. Slide your right foot down next to the left. Press your right palm down. Unravel the left arm. Bring your forehead down and shimmy your hips from side to side. Slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale to pull your heart through and lift it. And then exhale, take your hips back towards your heels and find your child's pose. And then we inhale, press up into your box pose. Cross your feet at the ankles, slide your feet through. And then taking your time, one vertebra at a time, C curve to your spine. Roll down until you're flat on the earth. When you get there on the inhale, take a full body stretch. And on the exhale, hug your knees down and towards your chest. Let your feet come to the earth. Let your knees fall open. So Supta Baddha Konasana, the same way we started class, but this time taking a bridge pose from here. So cobbler's bridge. Let your hands come down next to your hips. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then inhale, lift your hips up into the sky and breathe here for maybe 3 to 5 breaths. It's normal for everything to kind of start vibrating or bouncing or any of that kind of stuff. It's fine. Just breathe through it. One more inhale. And then exhale, soften everything down. And the next inhale, draw your knees back up to the sky, but keep your feet wide. Arms out to a T. Exhale, drop your knees to the right. Turn your face to the left. And then inhale, knees back through center. Let your low back find the earth. Exhale, knees to the left. Turn your face to the right. And then inhale, right back through center. Exhale, hug your knees in. Inhale here. Exhale, press your feet up to the sky. And let's draw some figure eights on the ceiling with your feet. If you need something different, like a deeper spinal twist, be my guest. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Hold for the inhale. And on the exhale, round your forehead up to the knees. Inhale here. And then exhale, extend open. Let your feet extend forward. Your feet hang comfortably open, or any shape at all that speaks to you for your final resting pose of your practice. Let your arms maybe come down by the side, body palms face up. Allow for everything on the backside body to root down, melt down into the earth. And your top side body is light, it's floating and weightless. And rest. And if what you need is to be here a little bit longer, you tune me out and stay as long as you want, as long as you possibly can. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And with your inhale, float your arms up overhead and find a full body stretch. And on the exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. And take your time. Roll over to the right. Or you can rock up immediately into your comfortable, easy sit, just right where you are. It's where we're all going to meet in Sukhasana. Crossed leg, chest high. Hands can rest in your lap or on your knees, or even come together in Anjali Mudra at heart center. As you take that final moment, that pause, to be grateful for your body, for what it does for you today, to be hopeful for tomorrow. Thank you for doing this for yourself whenever it is that you're able to take this practice. I see you, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.